What's good, y'all? Y'all know who it is. It's Toya. It's your girl T.StewardArtistry. I'm back with yet another video. I know I just got one video before this, but I'm back with yet another video. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I came up with this look for my homegirl, Miss Carmen, you guys stay tuned. Now I'm just going to start outlining her brows. Her brows are super curly. And for my clients who have super curly brows or super curly eyelashes, I just kind of define as I can. I don't make sure it's neat or super precise. I feel like that's what my concealer is for. My concealer is my cleanup man. That's what I call it. So I'm just going to just outline her brows and fill it in as much as I can. It might seem dark in the beginning, but once you see me fade everything out and blend out her brows with my spoolie brush at the end of it, you guys will see what I'm talking about. So I'm using Revlon Colorstay eyebrow, my eyebrow pencil in the color dark brown, and I'm just blending out her brows, making sure I get everything, make sure I outlined it first in all the areas that I need, blending it out, and then I'm going to go back through with my concealer. So at first I used a concealer that was just white. Okay, I know it's kind of loud, y'all, but I wanted her eyeshadow to pop. So to avoid it looking real crazy, I went back over it with a flesh tone concealer. Okay, I know it looks odd, but white, a white eyeshadow base or something, of course, it's brighter than their natural tone, will really make it pop. But you don't have to do this double step, but it's just something that I did. It's all about preference. So now I'm just going to go through on the top of her brows and do the same thing and blend it in an outwards motion, and just try and make sure I clean it up, all of those imperfections that I might have had when I was filling in those brows. This is the time to really clean that up. Okay, so if you didn't want to be perfect before, baby girl, you probably gotta be perfect now. Okay, because you won't, the first thing people see when they walk up to you, they be like, dang, who did your eyebrows? Or who did your makeup? We want them to say that, right? We want them to say, girl, who did your makeup? And girl, who did your eyebrows? Okay, and now I'm just blending out all of that concealer that I used to define her eyebrows. So don't worry about the color differences right now. We're going to cover all of that with foundation. That's what foundation is for. Okay, so now I'm going to use this pretty light brown, and I'm just going to follow her crease, and I'm going to pat that in at first. I don't start applying eyeshadow by doing the whole blending, super blending really fast to make it look fancy. I'm not trying to be fancy. Okay, I'm trying to make sure the makeup stay. I'm trying to make sure the makeup look good. So I always pat in what I'm gonna do. Then I'll blend out later on. Then I'll be fancy at the end. Okay, but in the beginning we gotta put in that work. So I'm just gonna do the same thing with the other eye. Just pat in that color because I want it to stay. I don't want it to go nowhere. And whenever you use a liquid, you have to come back in and set it with a powder, whether that's eyeshadow, loose powder, whatever it is. So now I'm blending, girl. See, now I'm being fancy. I'm being fancy now. So now I'm blending. I'm blending out that eyeshadow, blending it from the end of her crease, end of her eye, into her inner crease. I'm blending all that good eyeshadow in. Okay. So now I'm going to take this really pretty, like auburn burgundy-ish brownish color, and I'm going to pat that on her outer eyelid because I want that to also be a color that that's in the background, sort of like my transition color. But I feel like that brown and like that orangey burgundy-ish color is so pretty when it's blended together. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for a look like that. So I'm just patting it in. Remember, I pat it in. Okay, I don't swiping, no swiping. I don't be doing no swiping right now. I want everything I'm doing. I'm setting my foundation, and then I'm going outwards with it. And that's anything you do. You gotta have a good foundation, girl, before you do anything, right? same with my makeup, okay? So I'm just gonna blend that color inwards and outwards. And you don't have to be heavy-handed when you blend it, and sometimes that's a lot of the problem, like how your makeup gets everywhere or if it don't get nowhere. That same concealer, that flesh tone concealer I used to define her brows, now I'm going to use that as a base before I put on her her lower eyelid color. So I'm going to have her look up, and once she looks up, that concealer that was on her eyelid is going to transfer to a point to where I need it to go to. So say it transferred to like above her crease in her eye, that lets me know how far I can go up with my cut crease. So you don't want your cut crease to be all the way to the brow bone, girl. You don't want your cut crease to be too low to where it just look like what you doing, right? We gotta look like we know what we doing, okay? So I'm gonna have her do the same thing with the other eye. And now I'm just gonna follow whatever that imperfection or whatever that mark it made when she looked up. I'm just gonna follow that out. And now I'm going to just fill it in, pat it in, because remember, we want our makeup to stay. Okay, we want people to go to sleep and wake up looking flawless, okay? So we just pat. We patting all of that good makeup in, okay? So now I'm going to go in with this really pretty champagne color from my Nubian palette. And now I'm just going to pat all of that color into that concealer base I just made. Yep, and just going to do the same thing to the other eye. It doesn't really show up good on camera, but it's such a pretty champagne color. I really love it because I really feel like it blends very well with this red, burgundy-ish color, brown color. I really think it's going to come together really, really good. You guys just have to, stay tuned to the end. So now I'm just going to use this brown color, also from my Nubian palette, and I'm just going to place that in her outer corner of her eye. I'm not going to do too much blending with that one because I really want that color to stay there. But that's how I'm going to finish off the eye look. I'm just going to pack all of that brown into the outer corner of her eye. So anyway, so now I'm just going to take my L'Oreal eyeliner in black and outline her eyes. And I usually don't apply mascara before I apply eyelashes, but she has very curly eyelashes, so I need them to be able to look as uniform as possible. So I'm going to go through, add the mascara to her eyes, and now I'm going to add my Kiss natural eyelashes. You can find them at Walmart. I don't have the number, but you know the brand Kiss, and it's a pack of 5, and you can find them at Walgreens, Walmart, but they're the natural. They're natural, okay? I'm going to take my Ulta face primer. It's a matte face primer. It's like in a grayish bottle with orange writing. Best primer ever. You hear me? The best primer. Because people say they'll wear my makeup and say they have to go somewhere in the morning, they have to sleep in their makeup. That makeup don't come off. You hear me? It ain't going nowhere. So if you need something to stay, that is the best primer. And so now I'm going to take my MAC Studio this is my MAC Matchmaster in number 2, and I'm going to apply that all over her face using my Eco Tools foundation brush. You can find this brush at Walgreens, Walmart. I believe everybody knows who Eco Tools is. People be sleeping on Eco Tools. They have some really good brushes, y'all be sleeping on them. They have some dope brushes. Okay, so now I'm just going to blend out all of that foundation that I applied to her face. And when I did apply the foundation, I applied it in a downward motion. So not only did I use the brush to blend it out, now I'm going to take my beauty blender brush, like just in case I overdid it in some areas. That beauty blender, you have to remember, it's a sponge, so it's going to absorb some of the product. And I know that everyone doesn't want to look snatched all the time. We all still kind of want that natural look, but still snatched. So I feel like going back over with a beauty blender will give me that natural yet snatched look. And now I'm just going to go back over with my MAC SkinFinish powder in medium beige. And I like to set my foundation before I apply the concealer. Like, I feel like I need to finish off whatever liquid I'm doing before I add another liquid. That's just me. Every makeup artist has their preference, but that's just me. So now I'm going to go in with my LA Girl concealer. I think this is also medium beige. So now I'm just applying it to her T-zone, not too much. You don't have to go all the way out to the outer eye for the concealer. And now I'm just going to take that same Eco Tools foundation brush, and I'm just going to blend out that concealer in a downward motion, and also patting. So even though I'm blending it out in a downward motion, I'm also patting it into her skin because I really don't want it to go nowhere. I really want to stay there because I'm trying to conceal those imperfections. So now that I've blended everything out, I'm going to go back in with a beauty blender and blend it out some more. So now I'm just going to take my L'Oreal translucent powder. Y'all, I don't think they sell this powder no more, or they might have renamed it, but this is the best powder ever that I use on people that are fair skinned. So I'm going to leave you know, the name in the description box, but I really think they changed the name of it. But I've had this powder for a very long time, and it's a really, really good powder. It doesn't have any flashback. So I'm just going to blend out that powder, make sure it blends into her skin. Remember, swiping, no swiping, okay? So I'm just going to blend everything. Now I'm going to go back in with my black Radiance contour stick. I believe this is in Cocoa Bean. And I'm going to outline her forehead, her jaws, her nose, because honey, she wants to be snatched, okay? She's trying to be snatched, so we need to snatch her, right? So now I'm just blending out that contour, just blending it out. When I'm going across her forehead, I'm just blending it. I'm not blending it in a particular direction, I'm just blending it where it is. And when I go down her cheekbones, I'm going to blend that in an upwards motion because I want that to meet her her concealer that I had blended out. And then we'll ultimately make sure it's fleshed together, like it blends together. That's the whole goal of the makeup look, is to make sure everything blends together, okay? So now I'm just going to take my other Eco Styling, it's like an eyeshadow brush, a large eyeshadow brush, but I want to take that to contour the nose, and I'm going to take that remaining product and blend it downwards. So you're just going to blend it upwards into the brow, and then the rest of it, we're going to blend that downwards on the nose to give that nose, or to give her nose a very slim look, if that makes sense, right? That's going to give her the appearance of a slim look. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of blush from my BH Cosmetics blush palette. I'm going to just take a nice little peach color, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna take an actual lighter color and apply it to her tear duct to give her just a little bit more into her look. Now I'm going to take this really pretty powder pink. So I'm just going to outline her lips to give her a nice fun color. I didn't want to go too bold because I already felt like her eyes were bold. And I didn't want to go too neutral because I just felt like it wouldn't really match the eyes. So I kind of want to do like an in-between, and you can never go wrong with pink. And now I'm just going to go in with the even lighter pink for my BH Cosmetics lip palette. It has a whole bunch of lip colors for you, lip swatches, which I love to keep in my kit. Then I'm going to go through with my NYX setting spray. And now this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, just leave your comments in the description. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're looking for. And just, you know, let me know your thoughts. Like, I really want to hear from you, and you guys are most important. So yes, I thank you for supporting my channel. And be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. It's your girl Toya. Bye, y'all. Love ya.